Chairman. I appreciate it very much, and I want to thank you for holding this hearing, and I particularly want to thank the witnesses that we have. We have one of the, I think, most impressive panels of witnesses that have ever gathered on climate change in this United States Congress. So I'm really grateful to you all for being here. I did want to make one point before I got to my questioning, and that is where I think we are in terms of getting to a solution, and it relates back to some of what Mr. Oliver has said. The economic risks that we're talking about are many, they are profound, they are deeply dangerous. And I have sent to every single colleague in the Senate quite some time ago this volume, which contains 17 of the most serious warnings of economic crash that are out there. Economic crash can be viewed as the carbon bubble bursting. It can be viewed as coastal property values collapse. It can be viewed as uninsurability, knocking the bottom out of the insurance industry. And there's no reason that those three can't all happen in a cascade of economic collapse. So these are really dire warnings. And nobody except Democrats got back to me. I sent these with a personal note. No one. And I remember when I first got here, Senator Sanders and I were in the same class. We came at the same time. Senator Graham was here then. For our first 3 years here, there was a lot of bipartisanship on climate change. By my count, there were 4 efforts in the Senate, all bipartisan, all serious. And our friend Senator McCain, as the presidential candidate of the Republican Party, campaigned on a strong climate platform. That was where we were. Then in January of 2010, all of that bipartisanship stopped dead as if it had hit a wall. It was like watching an echocardiogram go dead when the patient went dead. What happened? What happened was Citizens United in January of 2010. When Citizens United, when the 5 Republican appointees who opened the floodgates to unlimited money in politics made that decision, the fossil fuel industry instantly went to work to take advantage of that new power. And since then, they have run through secret money, behind front groups, across a whole variety of election manipulation strategies, a consistent effort to undermine Congress's ability to address climate change, with the result that since Citizens United, no Republican senator has since gotten onto any serious economy-wide piece of climate legislation. None. Zip. Zero. What the fossil fuel industry has done in our politics makes me think of Winston Churchill's phrase many years ago of committing a crime that has no name. And I think history will look back on the covert operation run by the fossil fuel industry against its own country to debilitate and incapacitate our own government from addressing this problem as one of history's vilest political acts. And that's why we are where we are right now. And the corporate community is starting to stand up now. BRT is starting to stand up. Climate Leadership Council is starting to stand up. But I will tell you, as somebody who sits in Congress, that the corporate presence on this issue is still net negative. Even if you take out the fossil fuel industry's continued efforts from behind front groups and with dark money to stop progress, even if you remove all of them, the remaining sectors of corporate America are still net negative. It is telling that neither Ranking Member Lindsey Graham nor Mr. Oliver know what the position of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is on a price on carbon. It shows that their statements that they nominally support one are sure nominal. And I can tell anybody who's listening that my colleagues on the Republican side, which is where the pressure has been focused, don't see any countervailing pressure to worry about from anywhere in corporate America. Not from Wall Street. They've got a big lobbying apparatus. It's not deployed on this. Not from Silicon Valley. TechNet's performance on climate politically has been a disgrace. Not from the agricultural sector, not from big ag, not from the consumer products lobbies. Nobody from corporate America who touches Congress directly is expressing any interest in getting anything done on climate. And I will tell you that when the BRT has a meeting or the CLC has a meeting and they make a statement or an announcement or they send a letter to President Biden, all that is good. But if it isn't touching Congress, it doesn't have effect in Congress. And time is running out for corporate America, if it really cares about this issue, to tell its damn lobbyists and trade associations to take it seriously. The discrepancy between what corporate America tells the public about its attitude on climate change and what it tells Congress about its attitude on climate change is a disgraceful discrepancy. Every major American corporation ought to do an independent audit of its own lobbying and electioneering and political influence efforts in the last decade. And I think CEOs would be very surprised to find where their company's footprint is on climate change, because I will suspect that it will very often be exactly adverse to their stated public position. Talk about sustainability. That's not sustainable. So that's the point I wanted to make. If that changes, a lot of gateways open. And the measure of when that has changed is when a Republican senator or member of Congress will stand up and say, I'm behind this bill. Here's something I will stake my flag on. I'm behind this bill that's an economy-wide carbon measure. So